we have the honor of speaking to the new Ombudsman, Crispin Boying Remulla. I was about to say secretary, but can I still call you secretary? Ombudsman Remulla, welcome to the show.
Hi,
I'm not used to
Ombudsman.
it yet, I'm not used to my title yet.
Oo
So
nga eh.
Nakasanayan, sir.
I don't know really what people should call
Ombudsman.
me. Boying will do.
Ombudsman na lang. Congratulations,
Ombudsman na lang.
Well, it's really a job for the next 7 years. So that way you can
Yes, sir. Well, dami kaming talong, sir. Ano,
Okay.
saan tayo magsisimula? Sa Parolios, ha?
Let's start with the...
I don't see,
Huh?
I don't see the others on the screen. I only see Ami.
okay.
Sir. Well,
Well,
we're here. I don't know.
Can you
Ano
see,
po yan?
can you see us now?
Yeah. Now I see. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Let's,
okay.
sabi ni Ed kanina, maraming gustong pag-uusapan, which is true. But let's start with the breaking news this afternoon. The contractors, Curlee and Sarah Discaya, deciding that they will no longer cooperate with the investigation. And at the press conference that ICI spokesperson Attorney Hosaka just conducted, sabi daw ng the couple said, the camp said that it's over the issue of them being declared state witnesses. Apparently, they took issue with an interview that Commissioner Singson gave,
Singson.
in which he had opined that no one is qualified to be state witness at this point. I mean, of course, you're now the ombudsman, but you've just left the DOJ. Where did you leave the discussion ba? Ano ba yung binili niyo, sir?
Tungkol kaya sa Discaya?
And tungkol sa anyone regarding the state witness issue in this whole investigation?
Kasi ang state witness law kasi never anticipated this massive amount of crimes committed by one person or by a group of persons so that they can be, kasi ang ina-anticipate ng ating state witness as in the rules of court, isang tao kasama sa krimen at siya ang magsasabi, kung di siya magsasabi, hindi matutuloy ang kaso, hindi kayang patunayan. Eh dito kasi, hindi lang isang krimen to, libo-libong krimen ang pinag-uusapan. Yung may tao dito, sangkot sa mahigit 100 krimen, paano pwede ba kami magbigay ng blanket immunity? Iyan lang ang pinag-uusapan namin sa DOJ noong panahon na yun. Kaya, hindi talaga, sinabihan din talaga sila that they may have to suffer jail time kahit na paano. Kasi, yun talaga ang hirap ng kasong ginawa nila at ang dami nilang participation sa iba't ibang pangyayari dito sa mga krimen na iniimbestigahan.
Also, it was made clear to them that there was no promise made to them that they could become state witness if they cooperated, basically.
No, they were under evaluation. It was clear to them that they were under evaluation. In fact, nag-walk out sila, sinabihan nga sila that they may suffer jail time. They stopped cooperating already last week. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko. The next meeting, I was told that, ito lang, the last few days, that the Discayas called in sick. So, obviously, parang ayaw na nila talaga. Ayaw na nila.
Pero sir, given the parameters
Pero
you just said...
Secretary, hindi ba? Yung sa
go ahead.
ICI, we understand, finorward na sa inyo yung mga binigay sa nila Discaya, hindi ba? And sinabi ng lawyer, it was a tell-all testimony. Nasa ombudsman na ba yun? Kasi kung nasa inyo na, ano pang
Hindi ako sigurado,
kailangan?
pero parang wala pa. Parang wala pa. Hindi ko pa na-examine yung mga pinadala sa amin ng ICI. Kasi sa pagkakaalam ko, ang meron na kami, yung pinadala ni Vince Dizon, tsaka yung binigay ng DOJ. Yung sa ICI, I was just going to break ice there as ombudsman. Kasi nanggaling ako doon a few days ago, maybe 10 days ago. Nanggaling na ako sa ICI to cooperate with them and to as DOJ secretary. And in fact, yung ibang staff na dumating sa kanila is through the help of the DOJ. And of course, we coursed it through the presidential management staff para mabigyan pa sila ng iba pang lawyers na tutulong sa kanila.
Pero sir, given...
Saka yung sa DOJ, di ba? Dagdag lang yung we understand na ang isang sa mga condition sa kanila, if they were planning to turn state witness, yung restitution. Did they
Yes, of
ever
course.
seriously consider it? Pumayag ba sila doon?
Hindi kasi ako nakausap na nila. I will have to be debriefed again. I will call on the DOJ officials who interviewed them. Kasi I only talked to them initially. Kasi hindi ko naman kayang ako lahat, di ba? So I delegate the work to people who I trust. And I can find out. Pero talagang they were not in a tell-all mood. Yun ang isang problema. Yun ang isang problema na nakita ko. Simulat sa poll. Parang hindi sila tell-all mood. they wanted to spare a lot of people and just choose what they wanted to say. Kaya medyo nagka-doubt talaga ako dyan. Kaya kasi sinasabi ko talaga, evaluation muna. Hindi naman pwedeng papangakuan mo na magiging state witness ng tao. Wala ho yan sa position DOJ Secretary. No, not even the Ombudsman. The Ombudsman can give immunity. Pero, syempre, within reasonable bounds. Hindi naman pwedeng isasalbang mo yung tao kahit sobrang dami na kasalanan na hindi naman nanagot. Hindi ho pwede yun.
Ombudsman, sorry, can I just follow up on what you said? When you said that you got the sense that they wanted to spare some people, hindi talaga siya tell-all, I heard that they were being asked about Senator Bongo's involvement as well as his connections to CLTG builders. Is that true?
Yes, that is what part of the discussion that happened also. Kasi nga, when you look at their track record, they started becoming big in 2016-17 after the joint venture with CLTG. At least that's what I remember. Sa pag-aaral ko, sa cursory reading ko ng notes about them before I talk to them.
So given the parameters that you mentioned a while ago, well, at least the variables that you mentioned a while ago, na you're not looking at one crime, possibly hundreds of crimes across the board all over the country. So mahirap magbigay ng blanket immunity.
Mahirap. Example dyan, Tony, isa Tony Ed, no? Ed,
sir.
ang problema dyan, kagaya niyan, yung bid rigging. Di ba lumabas na talaga sa hearings ng Senate na wala na talagang bidding. Moro-moro na lang, bid rigging. Di ba? The hundreds of crimes na yan, doon pa lang. Thousands pa. Thousands of crimes we're talking about here. Kaya nga, marami pang iba yan. Merong bribery, merong dyan malversation, iba-ibang crimes na involved dito. Plunder. Kung ibibigay mo ng blanket immunity, baka naman lahat ng tao sabihin blanket immunity, di wala na mangyayari dito.
Yes, sir. But given that nga, would anybody qualify at all for state witness, considering na you're
It's
looking at
possible.
hundreds?
Basta necessary talaga yung testimony nila to be able to convict people for the crimes that we are charging. It's possible. Nothing is impossible here. But the people who were asking for it, parang imposible rin. It's very hard. It's very hard to make a judgment immediately. Kasi nga, massive nga, hindi pa nga, undiscovered pa nga yung ibang crimes eh. How can you give them blanket immunity when some of the crimes have not yet come to fore? Siyempre, hindi ko pa nakikita yung tax evasion angle. Marami pa akong tinitingnan dyan para bago ma-evaluate yan, dapat alam natin yung universe of crimes involved dito.
So what do you suggest if you were to tell the Discayas what they should or should not do, or what they or whether they should cooperate? What would you tell them?
Ano yan, meron niyang history sa Office of the Ombudsman. I don't know if people will agree with. Yung kay the biggest restitution ever received by government is by General Garcia in that crime where he pleaded guilty to the charge. He returned 300 million. And then, time served na lang, then he was released. Yun ang naalala ko na biggest restitution. Dito kasi yung restitution na sinasabi natin dito, billions to eh. We still have to look at the real cost to the people eh. Cost to the government and cost to the people of the Philippines. Kasi taxpayers' money went everywhere except the project, di ba? Or many of them, substandard pa. Pero for the ghost itself, talagang zero talaga. Talagang falsification at malversation. Yun na malinaw na malinaw.
So at this point, Ombudsman, pwede na naming sabihin, ruled out na sila as state witness. I understand yung korte mag-a-approve niya, no? Pero i-endorse niya eh. Pwede na namin sabihin, hindi sila pwede.
We can say that unless they tell all and that it really makes everything clear, pwede yan. Kaya lang, hindi nga tell all mode eh. I think they're mahirap na magsalita. Pero iba silang kausap talaga. Iba silang kausap.
What is your best sense, sir, of why they're, in your words, sparing some people? Is it out of fear? Is it out of political calculation? Ano yung element dito that's
Maybe
holding them back?
out of political calculation. Wala pa silang nararamdaman fear. I don't see fear in their faces. Para silang parang sinasabi nila, balang araw makakawalan din ako, kaya hindi ko kailangan sabihin lahat. Basta parang gano'n.
Actually,
Parang, no. Di ba? Ibang kausap yan. You have to be very careful about everything you say. Kasi they have a history of taping every conversation and doing things that very hard to call good faith.
That's interesting to hear kasi in the public hearings, they make it out like they were just victims of this whole syndicate, right? They make it out like, oh, we were just forced to pay the bribes kasi otherwise we wouldn't get any projects. Pero yung sinasabi niyo, sir, is parang medyo baliktad. They're a lot more calculating and cunning than we realize. Is that correct?
Oh, sobrang ano. Well, ika nga sa Tagalog, matinik, tsaka madulas. At ayaw umamin. Talagang lahat ay gagawin para malagyan ng balakid yung pagpasok mo sa katotohanan. Yun lang nahalata namin. Kasi nga, may mga, as SOJ yan, tinanong ko sa kanila yung CLTG. Ang sinabi sa akin, never nila nakilala yung Christopher Lawrence Bongo na CLTG, Christopher Lawrence Tesoro Go. That's the initials of the person, the senator, in the company that dealt with them. They never met him. Looking at their record, na puro selfie sila at puro picture sila with everybody they meet. You think it's possible?
Okay, ano move on?
Ombudsman. Nabanggit nyo na rin napakarami. Isang mag-asawa lang yan We're now seeing all these cases emerging sa iba pang infrastructure, schools, hospitals, farm to market.
Yes. Oh.
Paano, hindi yan makakaya Ombudsman ng ICI? Mag-initiate ba kayo? Motu proprio?
Infrastructure problems kasi natin, patong-patong yan. Yung sa abuse of budget, nakita na natin kung paano pinagdaroan yung budget. Rock netting, hindi yan flood control, pero malaking skandalo.
Yes.
Something that I've been looking at also. Conflict of interest, may isang pinakamabigat na pinapasok natin dyan. Kaya, ano nga yan iyan ang theory of the case ang una namin binubuo bago kaming pumasok para gumawa ng strategy for every person na dapat inquire into at matanong, masapina para sa mga krimen na pwedeng nangyari. Di ba? Conflict of interest is one of the biggest things, and that's one of the cases that's so apparent in the House. Sobrang laki niyan sa House of Representatives at sa COA, yung nangyari sa COA. At marami pang ibang conflict of interest stories dyan na kinakailangan talaga ma-unravel natin para tumigil na. Kasi pag hindi natin nagawa ito ngayon, hindi na natin magagawa ito. Magiging habit na yan. Na parang pababayaan mo na lang yung kalyo kasi kalyo na. Ganon minsan ang pakiramdam ng tao. Hindi dapat ganon.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, at the same
So,
time...
imomoto proprio nyo yan. Yun lang naman inaano ko. Imomoto proprio nyo. Kasi hindi kaya ng ICI
Oh yes,
You are
marami
initiating on your own.
dito. Kahit walang complaint, titirahin namin. Yun nga nagbubuo pa ako ng team. Tsaka yung process flow nga ng Office of the Ombudsman, kailangan gandahan. Kasi, kagaya nung nangyari sa Farmally, 3 beses nagbuo ng panel Pinalitan yung panel nung sa gitna ng investigation, pinalitan yung panel, pinalitan na naman yung panel. 2021 o 2021 halos tapos na yung investigation ng Farmally. Marami ng record ng Office of the Ombudsman. 2025 final. October na. So 3.5 years bago final. That's the longest preliminary investigation you can imagine. Sa DOJ, 60 days lang ang aming PI. 60 days. Pero dito kasi may fact-finding na kasama. Yung mga graph investigator ang law enforcement officials. Tapos merong evaluation muna, fact-finding. Tapos merong preliminary investigation. Pag ito tatagal ng 3 taon, mapapanis talaga ang kaso. Napakahirap namang ispilingin yan pag 3 taon na nakakaraan. Baka ubos na yung mga state. Yan ang problema dyan.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, ang hinanap sa mga tao, of course, they're looking for blood of the contractors involved, but they're also looking more than that for justice as far as government officials are concerned, and which is, of course, the bigger, the more primary concern of the ombudsman. People who are in office, people who are in power, for example, members of Congress or the Senate, down the line. So maliban po sa pag-file mga kaso against contractors, ano po ang status dun sa pagsasampa ng mga kaso against people in the legislature who, not just with conflict of interest, because kasi conflict of interest parang 6713 lang yan more than that is...
Hindi, you cannot say that anymore. Kasi dito, you have people who were holding major positions in the House, who became contractors themselves
Yes, sir.
in their own districts. Kaya, iba na to. Iba na usapan to. Wala na talagang delikadesa. Delikadesa flew off the window.
Yes, sir.
Diba?
Yes, sir.
So you can say it's so simple. We have to get the modus operandi. We have to get the list of contracts. We have to rebuild all the data for us to be able to lay down a proper case. We have to gather the evidence. Pero andyan talaga, you're talking about billions now. Hindi lang siya mere conflict of interest. You're talking about billions being lost by government to conflict of interest.
Pero I guess what you're saying is mababaw lang yung conflict of interest charge. We
Yes,
want to
sir.
see
Yes, sir.
Plunder yun.
We want to see
Malversation.
malversation.
It's possible to be plunder, Ami. Possible yan. But it really depends on the evidence. Kung malversation, kung conflict of interest, whatever it takes, whatever legal provision is needed to convict people, we will do it.
Can this case,
If we have to get them by tax evasion, we will get them by tax evasion, but we will do it.
but can this investigation succeed? Meaning, may mapaprosecute, may makukulong
Meron.
without the
Meron.
testimony, without the cooperation of the Discayas, who seem to be at the center of it all. Kasi sila yung...
We can do it without them, and we can bring them to court very soon on our own accord without their testimony. And just looking at the AMLA records, pwede na namin sila i-demanda.
Okay.
Sir, you're
Okay.
talking about the
Ombudsman.
legislators, sir, or the Discayas? Who are you talking about bringing them to court immediately?
Yan, that is kayas. Kasi nga,
Okay.
tinatanong nyo kung kayang i-charge pag di sila cooperate. Kaya. Kaya naman.
Hindi, pero yung buong kaso, mabubuo ba siya, sir, if kahit walang cooperation ng
Segment by
Discaya?
segment, ang mahalaga is we're able to get them for something so big that we will be able to recover a lot of money from them for the government. Yun talaga yung aim natin dito, yung restitution and retribution. Dalawa yan eh. Hindi lang naman yung restitution lang yan. Yung retribution, paano? Wala na? Wala na. Pag sinuli ang pera? Hindi.
Sir, the other question on everybody's mind is, Zaldico. I mean, he's still out in the wind. We don't know where he is. What's our position as far as he is concerned? Ano man pwedeng ihabol sa kanya at this particular point? Is there anything substantial already that can be filed against him for any violation at all?
Meron. From the testimony of Alcantara, meron na siyang direct dealing with Saldico. So it can happen already.
No. How far are you...
Sa pag ganun, pwede ipa-cancel yung passport na niya kapag meron ng
Possible na. Pagka may kaso na, pag nakasampa na yung kaso, yun ang batas natin eh. We cannot cancel passports without proper purpose dapat.
Yes, sir. I think that's what people are waiting for. Kailan magsasampa ng kaso? Kasi medyo matagal na rin, several weeks already since he left the country. Actually,
Since he responded to Congress, to the House, the new House Speaker, saying
Ang
that he will
maganda lang
not
kasi
be
dito, I
coming back.
started working on this as DOJ, and I'm on my third day now in the Ombudsman's office. And it can be done. There's a continuity naman sa investigation nito. And imagine it only happened because of the conflict because of the issue of protected witnesses that arose from the Senate hearings. Kaya kami na-involved dyan. Of course, the President also instructed us later on to start investigating, to help investigate this mess. Because at that time, the Ombudsman's office was not yet moving or could not really be spoken to about this matter. And when I asked them about their output when I arrived, parang halos wala pa.
Sa kapag may case na sa kanya, ombudsman, pwede na siyang, you can ask for help na from Interpol, ano?
Of course.
Or do you have to wait for an arrest warrant?
Of course, we need that. Blue notice pwede na eh. May blue notice is
May blue
actually within the community, nag-uusap-usap na yan. Pero ang red notice talaga ang kinakailangan para pwede natin arrest.
Are you...
Cambio lang akong konti, ombudsman,
wait,
kasi
sorry,
pinag-usapan
Ami.
yung SALN ngayon eh.
Wait, Ami, sorry. Close ko lang yung...
Linawin ko lang.
Ami, sorry, close ko lang yung conversation about Zaldico.
Ano yan? Yeah.
Nakalimutan ko tuloy what I was gonna ask.
Ako,
Are you
tanong
at
ko kailan
liberty, sir, are you at liberty to tell us ano po yung kaso that you're looking at against former Congressman Ko?
Malversation.
Malversation.
Plain and simple, yeah.
Based solely on Engineer Alcantara's testimony? Or you have other evidence?
So far. But that's why we have to strengthen it more. mahirap mag-file ng kasong mahina. Yun ang nagiging problema lagi sa prosecution ng cases sa ating bansa. Dati, sa probable cause, we end up with a lot of weak cases. We really have to raise the bar of evidence and really work better with the evidence that has to be laid out in court so that you can have a continuous trial and rest your case. Yun naman ang pinakabahalaga na dapat mangyari ngayon. Na meron naman provisions ng law that allow it, meron tayong rules of court that allow it, we have the Supreme Court issuances that allow continuous trial, but the government hardly went to that recourse because the evidence gathering was not very thorough at that time. So ngayon, I think that we are about to embark on a new era in prosecution. Yun talaga ang kinakailangan gawin niya.
Okay.
Do we have a timetable, sir,
Yung
for
continuing
Zaldico's
trial,
case?
Ombudsman, nabanggit nyo yung continuing trial. Ano yung pinaka-short that we can expect? Kasi yun yung minamadali ng mga tao eh.
Sa flood control cases, presentation of prosecution evidence, probably 5 to 7 court hearing dates. Tapos na yun. And then, pagka-continuous trial yan, isang buwan, tapos yan. Pag walang pinayagang postponement ng court.
Sir, but
Basta
Or iba yung special court?
Warrant of arrest, initial hearing yan. From there, hopefully, pag nakita nila yung urgency, isang buwan is of course very, very, it can be logical, it's very hopeful, but it may be a little more than that. It's really doable, Ami. It's doable.
But sir, do we have a timetable
doable 1 year. 1 year sigurado.
Sigurado yun, sigurado. Hindi aabot na isang taon yan kung talagang hindi papayag ang korte sa dilatory tactics. Kasi dilatory tactics ang lagi natin problema eh. That's what lawyers get paid for. How to delay the case. Then later on, mapapanis yung kaso, sasabihin, inordinate delay, kaya deprive of due process. Yun ang ayaw natin mangyari.
But sir, do we have a timetable for Zaldico, for the filing of the case against Zaldico?
For the time of filing, mahaba na yun.
Yes, sir.
1 year.
Kaya.
Secretary, medyo na late.
Ikambyo ko na dun sa, sa SALN. Kasi nililinawin ko lang yung order mo, Ombudsman, sa SALN. Does it cover the constitutional bodies?
Ano yan eh, we will have to rethink that if we can cover the different branches of government. But I think we can. Kasi ang nakasanayan kasi ng Ombudsman's Office, yun ang amin nilabas.
Yes.
We reviewed all the SALN filings, all the SALN rules for the past for the last six administrations in the Ombudsman. Yun ang nireview namin. But we will rethink it. I think that it might be better if we get the constitutional bodies to agree with us. The House, the Senate.
Yes.
But ang pinakamahirap kasi syempre the courts.
Judiciary.
That's one of the things that can be a problem. But I will have a dialogue with them. I will have dialogue with them.
Pero sir, you're not a custodian, sir. But the Ombudsman is not a custodian of all these other SALNs of the other bodies.
We're not. Hindi na kasanayan. But if they will allow us, they will trust us, why not, di ba? Yun naman yun eh. Dapat talaga lahat yan theoretically. Theoretically lahat.
Pero hindi ba nasa batas yun? Nandun sa Code of Conduct? Dapat sa Ombudsman?
Dapat kasama lahat. Dapat kasama lahat. Kaya lang siyempre, theory and practice do not always jive. And we have to force the issue somehow when it comes to many of these.
Yes,
Kasi
sir.
kagaya yan,
Yes, sir. Pero sir,
the courts, and I will not blame them, always want to just work within themselves. Yan po yung naging habit ng courts talaga.
Sir, pero sir, doon sa memorandum
Even
number 3,
charging them in court, investigating them, medyo sensitive pa rin ang courts dyan. So we will what you call this, bring it in para ma-realize naman na sometimes they might need the Ombudsman's Office to help them discipline their ranks.
Well, sir, of course, yung memorandum number 3 it's a good thing for a lot of people, especially for the media. But at the same time, there's a particular provision in memorandum number 3, yung sa SALN memorandum, which also raises some questions. That's the requirement for the media organizations to make submissions to the Ombudsman of their publications using the SALN.
And then, you know why I put that? Para magamit namin yung information. Kasi sayang, maglalabas ka na yan sa dami ng ginagawa ng opisina. Pag hindi namin naging automatic yan, maghahagirap pa kami, tapos maraming woke na kapatid natin sa industriya na ayaw mag-cooperate, kahit sabihan mo, hindi lagay na natin doon, ibibigay nila sa amin yung articles. Kasi kukuha din kami ng clues doon eh. Ayaw nyo bang umakto kami based on your investigation?
Well,
Diba?
sir,
Isn't
of
that
course.
reasonable na ibibigay nyo sa kami yung output nyo? Kasi pareho naman ang gusto natin.
Yes, sir.
Ilabas ang katotohanan. Hindi ba tama yun, Ami?
Yes, sir, that's
Tama
true, sir.
yan.
Pero sir, at the same time, isn't that compelled speech that you cannot
No,
force
it's not. It's
expression
responsible
anymore than
behavior,
forbidden
eh.
expression?
It's responsible behavior. Yun lang naman ang hinihingi natin eh. If you want it, you're responsible, bigyan nyo rin sa amin para pwede namin trabahuin. Is that asking too much? Is
Sir,
it asking too much? Tell me. Can I not get your output of your investigation so that I can use it for my investigation? Or you just want it to be able to say something bad about government no matter who is ruling?
well, sir, that's
No,
not the way.
sir.
I don't think that's the way. Sir,
Give me your output.
yes, sir.
Diba?
Sir, let me put it this way, sir. For example, when we were with the PCI, when I was with the PCIJ would request all the salads every year of all the officials that it can request from. Hindi lahat po yun nagagawa ng storya kasi syempre, you look at that time series data eh. So,
Hindi, output lang nga eh. Ede, pag na-publish na, pag talagang thorough na yung research mo, bigay mo sa amin. Pag hindi mo naman mapapublish, pero meron ko pa rin research na pwedeng magamit namin, bigay nyo sa amin. Kasi hindi naman kami, hindi kami weatherproof eh. Meron kami talagang weaknesses din na kinakailangan namin ng konting nudge.
No,
Para yung information, mas madali natin makuha, di ba?
But also, sir, that's easier if you're a digital or print outlet. What about for us broadcast? It's harder kasi kunyari, I'm an anchor. I don't produce
Mahirap sa
packages.
broadcast kasi.
I need it for my own personal information for
Yeah.
when we're talking here. Hindi naman siya one single story. You know what I mean? It informs my reporting.
And then give me a copy of the broadcast so we can study everything. O kahit na transcript lang. So we know if there's something new that we have to look at so we can make our work better. Yun lang naman ang intent nun. Wala naman ibang intent dyan eh. We just want to know how this worked when we gave the SALN and how it was researched and the output of the research so we can act on the matter. If we have to charge people for graft because of the leads we got from that article, so di ba? Di ba maganda yun? Or people just want to be obstinate and go against government no matter what. Hindi naman siguro ganun, di ba?
I don't think that's the case, sir.
May-
I mean,
madali kasi sa amin
Hindi nga dapat eh.
Madali sa amin, medyo mahirap sa broadcast eh.
oh,
Hindi kahit ano lang. We will monitor it. And, would you mind if we ask you questions after? Kasi kailangan namin yan eh. Why aren't we people willing to cooperate? Ang hiningi ko lang naman cooperation para magtulong tayo. Crowdsourcing nga, inaano na namin
Right.
yung rules para sa crowdsourcing. Gagawin na namin talaga para sa lifestyle check. Ayaw nyo ba nun?
well,
Diba?
sir,
You just have to maybe learn to trust government again or learn to trust the Ombudsman's office
but
again.
trust has to be earned, sir. Public office is a public
Well,
trust, yes. It has to be earned,
but
though. And the
if
first
it's
step to
be
that
earned,
is
what if I earn
releasing
it after
the
6
SALNs?
years and 9 months? Di wala na mangyayari. Di ba? Kasi that's a standard that is not even objective. It is a subjective standard.
well, sir, just to be clear, Sir Bale, what you're saying is only upon publication or use, yun doon kailangan mag-submit yung
Yes,
media agency.
we need the output eh. We need that.
There's no
Kung meron lang
nothing to
lumabas.
compel. There's nothing
Meron
to
ba kami
compel the
pinagay na
outfit
penalty?
to release any
Wala
story.
naman kami nilagay na penalty.
Ah.
Oh,
Wala
sir,
naman. Kaya lang sinasabi nga namin, may urgency yan. Hindi nyo pagtitripan yan, tapos bahala kayo sa trip nyo, walang basagan ng trip. Hindi po ganun yan. It's responsible government, it's responsible. We have to be responsible for the information that we get, di ba?
Yeah. Okay, we know you have to run to another appointment, sir, pero if I can just squeeze in very, very quick lang. So you basically reversed the memo of your predecessor. Does that mean we can go and request SAL-ends as far back as 2016?
It's possible. It's possible. We
Sir
will look
naman,
at the files.
yes, sir, no lang
Hindi
yan.
natin alam kung anong files ang nandun. On my third day, maybe by the end of this month, I'll know what's there.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, we have to shock them into action eh. Yung iba ang kultura at
But-
structure ng Office of the Ombudsman that we have to improve
Yeah.
talaga.
I mean, I think
I really think that we have to tell them that there is that you should have a sense of urgency on the job. Kasi parang hindi ko nakikita yun sa ngayon.
shouldn't the filings be there already? It's just a matter of releasing it.
Eh,
Kasi it's a
andyan yan,
requirement
but
for officials.
I haven't gone deeply into the records yet. Ang ginawa lang namin talaga, in-issue na namin yan. We studied all the rules before and we tried to make it as open as possible. And para naman meron kami feedback mechanism na magagamit naman kung nagamit nyo sa alis na investigation at meron kayong nakita. Sana alam namin yung nakita nyo. Kasi sabihin nyo, ay hindi nila nakita yan eh. Di ba? There should be some cooperation. Yun lang naman yun.
Ombudsman,
kailan
nyo naman balak i-release yung SAL-end ninyo? Kasi
Ako?
sabi nila, you set the example daw.
Kasama yan sa pwede i-release at pwede i-request. Pwede yan.
Oo.
Can I make the
Kailan
request
po?
now?
Yeah.
Pagbalik ko sa opisina.
Okay.
Pagbalik sa opisina, sige, paparequest ko.
Meron na ako sa field ngayon. Meron na akong ginagawa sa field.
Sige.
Pero,
Okay.
pasikit ang isa mo, sir. Sir, if you don't mind. Sir, formally, sir, of course, we had Richard Gordon here as our guest last week, I think, di ba? And he was making a push for including the former president dun sa mga kakasuhan.
And Michael Yang.
Yes, yun yung isa nakita namin eh. Kasi nga, bitin na respondents yun. Yun totoo dyan sa family. Wala si Michael Yang. Maraming wala. Kaya we had to get it back.
Yeah.
Kaya kailangan binawi namin yung pwede pa namin bawiin para pwede namin iayos na ilatag na maganda yung kaso. Kasi nga, 3 panel nga napalitan eh. For some reason that you can speculate but I will not elucidate. I mean, I do not have the perfect facts with me right now, but the hunch must be there.
Okay. We'll leave that there, but I will make a last public appeal to you to come back on the show kasi marami pa pong dapat pag-usapan. But thank you so much for talking to us today, Ombudsman
Thank you,
Boying
sir.
Remulla.
Okay, salamat. You know,
Thank you,
I wish I
Ombudsman.
could give you a meeting every week, but you know, I have so much. I'm deluged with requests for interview, and I have to limit it. Alam niyo na yan. Sige.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Salamat.
Okay.
But we appreciate you, sir.
Sige po.
Pwede
Thank
naman every
you.
month.
Thank you.